The sizzling of onions and the warm scent of toasted bread drifted into the air as Mia leaned over the small grill inside her worn-down food truck. Her hands moved quickly, flipping patties, adding toppings, sliding fries into paper trays. The lunchtime rush had hit hard, and she was running on nothing but determination and 3 hours of sleep. Customers lined up outside, tapping their phones, scrolling impatiently, calling out orders before it was their turn. Mia smiled through it all, even though she could barely feel her own legs. This food truck wasn't just a business, it was survival. Her father's medical bills, her little brother's school fees, the rent that kept creeping up. Every burger she sold was another step toward keeping her family afloat. She barely looked at faces anymore. To her, customers were orders. Cheeseburger with extra pickles, 2 chili dogs, veggie wrap. Smile, serve, repeat. So when a tall man in a tailored navy suit joined the line, Mia didn't notice him. She was too busy wiping sweat from her forehead and trying to keep the fryer from burning the fries. The man waited patiently, unlike the others. No sighing, no checking his watch. Just quiet observation. Finally, he stepped forward. His order was simple. 1 cheeseburger, no onions, extra cheese. Mia scribbled it down and moved on, not giving him a second glance. She was used to businessmen in fancy suits stopping by, never saying more than a few words before rushing back into their world. To her, he was just another customer, but when she handed him his meal, he leaned closer, his voice barely above a whisper. "Still remember me?" Mia froze. Her heart skipped a beat. She looked up at him properly for the first time. Strong jawline, kind eyes, a smile that seemed too familiar. And then it hit her, like a flood of memories rushing back all at once. High school. A boy with second-hand clothes who used to sit under the bleachers, sketching in his notebook while everyone else ignored him. She had been the only one who ever shared her lunch with him, slipping him sandwiches when she noticed he never had any. His name was Daniel. "Daniel," she whispered, disbelief in her voice. He nodded, his smile widening. "It's been a while, Mia." Her eyes welled with tears before she could stop them. She remembered his shy gratitude, the way he once said, "I'll repay your kindness someday." Back then, she had laughed, brushing it off as nothing. She never imagined that quiet boy would grow into the man standing before her now, a man whose name she had unknowingly read in headlines about tech companies and multi-million-dollar deals. Mia's voice shook. You're CEO of Parker Innovations," he finished gently. "Yeah, life turned out different than we thought." He glanced around at her tiny food truck, the peeling paint, the dented counter. "But some things don't change. You're still working hard, still feeding people." Mia tried to laugh, but it came out broken. "This old truck is all I've got. Some days, I don't even know if I can keep it running." Daniel placed the untouched burger back on the counter and reached for her hand. His grip was warm, grounding. "You once gave me food when I had nothing. You gave me dignity when no one else cared. Today, I'm here to remind you. I never forgot." Before Mia could respond, he pulled a folded envelope from his coat pocket and slid it across the counter. Confused, she opened it with trembling fingers. Inside wasn't just cash, it was a check with more zeros than she'd ever seen in her life. Enough to cover her father's hospital bills, her brother's tuition, and rebuild her dream from the ground up. Mia gasped, covering her mouth as tears blurred her vision. "Daniel, I can't." "You can," he interrupted softly. "This isn't charity. It's a promise kept." For the first time in years, Mia felt the weight on her chest lift. In that crowded street, with strangers ordering food and cars rushing by, 2 old friends stood across a counter bound not by money or status, but by a memory of kindness that had never faded. And as she looked into his eyes, she realized something powerful. Sometimes the smallest act of compassion could echo for a lifetime, until the day it came back, greater than she could have ever imagined.